Hey guys, welcome back to my video. This is Nightstar Mustangs. I'm Jessica Murray. This back here is my big gelding from Southstein's herd. He is going to get a name reveal today because he did manage to get his own tag off. I didn't get this off. He just managed to slip it over his head and get it off. So I figure since I'm getting my first touches in with him, I'll go ahead and just do a name reveal. And because it's been long enough, as you saw in the beginning of this video, we've struggled with mud. We have him in a nice new spot. We're going to be getting the shelters up here soon, but we're going to go ahead and work with this big boy today and see what we can get done. And I'm going to reveal his name. Should I just reveal it now? Yeah, you know, I'm just going to reveal it now. This Mustang is no longer tag number 7729. In the wild, he was known as Lobo. As a domestic horse and becoming who he is now, his name is Azir. That's right, Azir is his name. I love it. I think it fits him perfectly. And there we go, Azir. And now when I do my voiceover, I can say his name and not worry about messing it up. So let's go ahead and work with Azir. Enjoy the video, guys. Bye. Hey guys, so as you heard, I have decided to call my handsome Mustang Azir. In a game that my husband and I like to play, he is an Egyptian emperor and he has an eagle's face, and I just felt like the name fit this horse. So Azir it is. A-Z-I-R, as you will see it's spelled out. He has been one of the most challenging, actually no, he has been the most challenging horse I've ever had to work with before, which is not a bad thing. Him and I are learning together. I'm having to step up my game with him and make sure that he's really paying attention and make sure I'm really paying attention. And it's helping us to really just have a more concrete and solid relationship in a way. But with that means that things are going a lot slower, and that's just fine. We are still working on getting him comfortable with my touch. He has the tendency to get aggressive as soon as he feels like it's just way too much pressure on him. But I'm at the point where I feel like I need to push past that boundary to get things moving, to get production going. Not production, but to get progress made. There we go. And so I'm feeling like I have to push through that boundary, and he doesn't want me to push through the boundary. So we're kind of at a point where I've never had to do this much with a horse, and he's never had to do this much with a human. I'm trying to figure out how I need to train him. He's trying to figure out how to accept me. So it's all a learning experience. You can never know everything about horses, and I definitely am learning a lot with him. He has been so much fun though with lunging. He's gotten very good at it. I almost am at the point where I simply have to turn my shoulder in and he's going, and he's turning, he's watching me. He's very good at keeping his eyes on me. And I now need to figure out how to read my body language better. In this, I'm relaxed. I'm not really pushing him. He's in a relaxed trot. His head's still up, but that's kind of normal for him. I need to figure out when my energy's up, his energy needs to go up, and be conscientious about that at all times during our training. But right now, he's doing great with his lunging. And he's a very, very nice mover, I feel. I believe when we are at the point of riding, I'm going to begin to do endurance riding with him. because I feel like he'll be really good at that. He's athletic, he's a Mustang, so he's naturally really good out in the wild. And I think he can do that if he can trust me enough to take me with him and not just dump me off on the trail. But I think that's one of my main plans with him is endurance riding, because I think he would really excel in that line of work. So I'm gonna just start the session off by lunging him. And here I'm going up to him and just trying to get him to hold still. As you will see, we moved the round pin, so he is in a new spot in the round pin, and he's a little nervous. At the beginning of this lunging clip, he didn't want to actually lunge very well because he wanted to look around at everything. And so right here, I'm just letting him know, hey, let's go back to our normal sessions, and I can pet you with the whip, and we're good, and then we'll continue going. Right here, I'm trying to keep his eye on me as I go around so that he'll start stepping into me like we did at the very beginning of our learning. And there, since he left me, I'm gonna now push him off and lunge him around again. But at the very beginning of our time together, with him keeping his eye on me and stepping into me, I'm now moving that step up a notch and making it so that there's more energy. He has to follow me quicker and keep his head on me, and to start to create that draw in. I'm also kissing when I'm doing that, when I'm going around and trying to make him follow into me, so that he will learn that the kissing sound means come to me. Once they learn that, it's so nice, because then I could just stand in the middle of the round pen and start kissing, and they'll jog right up to me, and I love it. But you have to break it down into steps and do little by little. And he's doing so good with his turns. So right here, I'm bringing him in to face up. He does great, and I walk up to him before I realize that there's a dang fly hovering around my face. I go to scratch it, and it scares him. Right there. He jumps off. So I was like, you know what? That wasn't entirely your fault. I made a move, so I'm just gonna go ahead and call him back. Usually when he leaves me, I have a set number of inside turns I have him do before I let him come back to me. And that's around 10 inside turns, and then I'll bring him back into me. To say, hey, if you want to leave me, you have to work when you're away from me. But if you want to be with me, it's okay. We can be calm, and you can have a chance to breathe. And it was a hot day too, so I didn't want to lunge him too terribly much. I wasn't, again, trying to make him tired. If you've watched my Senna lunging video, you know my take on lunging and what it means to me. So I'm not trying to get him tired. We're just trying to connect and get going, and it was a hot day, so I do bring... Hey guys, coming at you with a real quick update. We have had such a struggle with mud, so what we did was we went ahead and moved the round pin from the muddy spot to a very nice spot. So here's what it looks like. This is where the Mustangs were. It was so muddy, we were struggling to work with them, and it was just very difficult. So we decided to totally uproot the round pin, so now they're over here in this nice, beautiful, not muddy area. We're gonna get the shelters up on this side. Since we just moved it, we haven't done that yet, but the shelters are gonna go up over there. And then each of those have gates so that we could just bring them into the round pen and work with them. So yeah, new spot. So now we're in the smaller pen. I'm doing what I've done with him before, and I have touched his shoulder before doing this method, but I've had him get a little bit aggressive. He always wants me to go for his face first, or he wants to check me out with his face rather than me going for his shoulder with my hand. So I'm letting him touch my finger and then back up. Right here, if you look right behind his pole, that muscle is starting to quiver. That's when I know he's gonna get aggressive. And here, it's not a big aggression, but he quivers towards me. He wanted to take a step into me, and I quickly resolved it by kind of saying, hey, no, because I've had him get aggressive on me a few times before, and it's simply when he just feels so pushed past his limits and feels like there's nothing else to do but come towards me to get me out of the way so he could run. And I'm very much confused and frustrated at this point. With myself mainly, because I can't figure out how to help him the best I can. So right here I switched to his face in general. I was like, okay, if you want me to go to your face first, I'll try your face. If that's what it needs to be to help you be more comfortable with what we're doing. Because he's leaning away entirely from me. He does not like this, but I need to push him past this so that we can start making progress. And it's okay to be frustrated as a trainer. That means that you're having to discover something new. You're having to try something new. And I've worked with quite a few Mustangs before, and as I said in the beginning, Azir is one of the most challenging Mustangs I've worked with. And right in this point in time, in this clip, I'm very frustrated because I couldn't understand what I needed to do to help him. On all my other Mustangs I've worked with, the method that I've used here has mainly worked. Maybe switched up here and there, but mainly worked. So I'm trying different things. I go back to just putting on his hip. Okay, he's running away, so I'm just gonna keep it on the hip. I need to switch my intentions to something else so that he doesn't feel my frustration. Because I don't need to add to his fear of me. And if I just kept doing with what I was doing, that's what would happen. So we switched to the hip. I'm like, okay, I can do this again. I know how to handle this right here. I just keep it on him till he stops moving. And then once he stops, I give him a release. There we go. I know this part. And that's okay, you guys. As a trainer, feel free to do that. You don't have to follow to a T what other people are doing. Just do what you feel like you need to do in that moment. And for me, I just needed to switch gears. So I'm working with his bum. Because I know that this horse is a flighty horse, he runs away rather than fights. The only reason he got aggressive on me was so that he'd get me out of the way so he could run. I saw a lot that people thought he was a very brave stallion, but I've watched one of his videos where him and a group of his band stallions that he was in were trying to take another stud's mares. And he hid the whole time. Yes, he was out with the mares, but he was watching for that stud the entire time and just running. He wasn't trying to just grab a mare. So I'm like, truly, this horse is just a flight. He's not much of a fighter. And that could be because when he was younger, underneath his neck, by his shoulders, there's a big divot. So I'm wondering if he had a big cut there, like something happened there, and I'm wondering if that might have helped with his scaredness and why he's not much of a fighter, but he is a runner. And because he's a runner, I feel more comfortable working on the back end right here. I'm trying to get some loose hair, so it looks like I'm going aggressive on him, but I'm not. I'm just getting loose hair that I can't get to with a brush. And so I'm working that off, but because I know that he hasn't offered to kick once, I feel pretty comfortable back here. Now, that's not saying that he won't offer to kick. I'm keeping my eyes on him. I'm watching. I'm not ignorant to say that I've never seen him kick, so he's not a kicker. No, that's not true. But he's less likely to kick, more likely to run away from me. So I'm working in the back end. And I'm like, you know what? I'm getting pretty close in the back end. Maybe I'll try touching him. So that's what I start doing. I just start getting closer and closer, and he lets me get closer to his hind end than ever before in the front end. And I'm wondering if that's partially due to his to his injury that he had at some point. So I'm coming back and I get quite a few little touches back here. Right there, I'm gonna go up, touch him. And that wasn't a big jump away. I got my hand on him. I'm like, okay. And for me, this is a aha moment. It's like, yes, you were just frustrated before because you didn't know where you needed to go with his training. But look, now you have a new spot to work on. And so I felt really good because of this. I got touches on him. We started getting somewhere. And it was progress in the right direction. So don't give up if you get frustrated with your horse. Don't give up if you just don't know what else to do. Try different things. Follow new trainers. Just do what you feel like you have to do. And if that's switch up directions to something else, well, it could lead to the solution to your first problem. So I'll get off my high horse. Thank you guys so much for watching my first touch with Azir, his name reveal, and watching his story. I cannot wait to see where him and I go. I have fallen in love with this horse, and I truly think that he was meant to be with me. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, that all helps. And don't forget to smile. It might just brighten your day and somebody else's. I'll see you guys later. Bye.